Trying to work on videos is hard sometimes. I got this loaf in my lap. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. Today, we're finally reviewing my first perfect grade, the Char Zaku 2, piloted by the Red Comet Char Aznable himself. Such a good character. This kit is great, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that helped me reach 100 followers on Twitch. That's why I went ahead and decided to finally crack this thing out of the backlog and get it built. I have quite a few things to say about it, but for this coming out in 1999, it does have some 1999 issues, and it also has some things that I wish kits had currently, you know, that I think would be nice. Also, 23 runners came in the box with this kit. So that's quite a few runners. I have built kits with more. The Master Grade Full Armor Double Zeta had more runners than this Perfect Grade did. I did expect it to be more, but also look at the size of this thing. This thing is gigantic. With screws, springs, and stickers all in there. I have a tough time recommending it to, you know, if it's your very first model kit. I don't recommend this one. But I definitely recommend picking it up if this hobby is something that you're serious about and want to do. Upon opening the box, you're greeted with so much in general that it's kind of nerve-wracking, and I'll be honest with you, I was kind of afraid to build this just because, oh my gosh, it's a perfect grade, but that's definitely something you don't need to worry about because this kit is an absolute blast to build. All right, let's go ahead and get into the things I like about this. All right, y'all, let's get into a few reasons why I love this kit. First and foremost, the size of it is something that's really got going for it. It was about what I expected, if not a little bit beefier than I had imagined originally when I first started building the kit. So I do consider that a plus. It just looks good. Proportions are I got one or two gripes with the proportions. Other than that, everything looks phenomenal. Another huge thing with the kit is the fingers. The fingers, yo. Every single one of them at every digit is capable of being moved, and I just think that's beautiful. God, this thing looks so good. I just can't stop staring at it. The colors, they're not too red and too gaudy or anything like that. So the colors right out of the box look good. If you want to just put it on your shelf after building it, that's perfectly fine. It would still look really, really good. A few other things I really like is opening armor gimmicks. There are quite a few on it. On the back, you pull out on the back of the calf and then lift up, and it reveals really nice thruster details in there. I'll include some pictures of that. Same thing goes with the backpack and parts of the head and all kinds of different opening hatch gimmicks. The front skirts are on springs, so they spring up after you get done doing them. Like after you get done moving them, they kind of just go back to their intended position, which I really do like. Let's see here. Pistons as well. That's another good attention to detail I always appreciate, especially with this kit coming out in 1999. I got more than I expected I was gonna get. Another thing I do want to add is with these perfect grades, the opening chest, the cockpit gimmick is really cool, because inside of there, the pilot gets in there and it slides over to the other side, which I think is really cool. You can, you know, kind of switch it up. Opens real nice. A lot of opening armor gimmicks and stuff like that. Now, that is a product of it being from 1999, I guess, with the how sturdy it is. But either way, still a great kit. The weapons look really nice. You can take everything apart, open it, move the sight. You can see straight through the sight because it's two pieces of clear plastic on a tube, which is great. The barrel, it comes in and out. It's going to be really easy to paint that. It does have some seam lines, but you know, we'll talk about that in a little bit. The purple Heat Hawk I really like as well. I don't know if the regular green Char Zaku perfect grade comes with a purple Heat Hawk. I think that might be with just the Chars. I'll have to check that, but I really like it. Comes with a clear blade. It'd be really nice to paint that up, either activated or deactivated, whichever one. In fact, if you were into the whole molding thing, you could actually just mold you another piece and have one activated and one deactivated. I think that would be cool, but that's a project for another time. That being said, there are a few things about it that are definitely from 1999 that kind of show their age, I guess I'll say. Alright, y'all, time to go into a few things that I'm not exactly impressed about with this kit, or just generally don't like at all. First and foremost, one of the biggest offenders for this kit in particular is going to be the nub marks. With this kit coming out in 99, I guess they didn't really have the the experience with hiding nub marks as they do today, but you have some pretty egregious ones here on the front of the shin, I guess I'll say. And all throughout, like on the arm, the front of the wrists. There's a couple on the feet. Not to mention, there's a few along the armor, but I took extra care to get rid of those and make those look really nice to help prepare for me painting this kit. And there's a lot of polycaps in this kit as well. The polycap sheet for this is huge, and you use pretty much all of them. The best way to describe building this kit in general is it's a polycap sandwich with more polycap sandwiches inside of it. Like, you start out by building part of the leg by building a couple of polycap sandwich pieces, and then you end up sandwiching those together with a few polycaps as well. So that being said, it's not quite the most beginner friendly model. If I had to put an experience to it, I would say at least have a few master grades or under your belt before you consider getting something like a perfect grade. With this being one of the older ones though, that might just be the experience with this. I also have the perfect grade perfect strike. That one might be the easiest kit to build in the entire world. I don't know yet. So the seam line on the shoulder right here was pretty hellacious. I'll pop up a picture of the delete I did on that. It looks pretty good in my opinion. It's flat enough to where it shouldn't cause any problems whenever I do go to paint this kit. So I'm really excited about that. It took some trial and error, but I got that looking really good. Another thing I don't like about this is the shoulder joint in this kit. It drives me up the wall. I'm not going to pull it off now, but basically what happens is on the inside of the shoulder, a piece comes dislodged whenever you try to raise the arm up, and then the pistons in the armpit come out of the kit and will even detach the arm sometimes. That will be fixed by glue after I get done painting the kit, and once I get the kit to a position where it's going to be staying that way for the rest of its life. As of right now, I'm just going to use the gingerly touch me technique and do my best to not break anything or mess anything up between now and the time I do plan on painting this kit. The range of motion with this kit is hindered by old technology, I would say. Like right here in the legs, these feet are huge. They're giant. I know they're meant for keeping this thing up, but they're so big that there's no movement there. There's pretty much nothing that you would want. It's not nearly what you would expect coming out of a perfect grade kit. Something that you drop that much money on, you'd expect it to move more. But it is probably like their third one. I know the very first perfect grade was actually the perfect grade Ava. It was the first one Bandai made. So they did at least get a couple kits in before they made the Char Zaku 2. I feel they could have made the bell bottoms probably a little bit wider, and that would have solved a lot of joints, but who knows? It may have been just they may have tried it when they were developing it and it just caused too many stability issues with the kit for them to do that. That's definitely a huge possibility. It does seem to stand perfectly fine though. It just looks like it has clown shoes on. We're gonna go ahead and hop into how this thing moves and the articulation of it and what you're gonna get out of this as far as posing the kit goes. All right, everyone. So next we're gonna go into the articulation of this big kit. And let me tell you, for it coming out in '99, I understand that it's not the best. With it being a perfect grade, I wish it did have a little bit more, but all in all, I can get what I want out of this to make it look how I want to, especially after I paint it. It's gonna look great. Let's see, to start off, the head, it can't go all the way around. There is wires in there. You're not going to want to twist it all the way around if you put the wires in there. There is a nifty little switch on the back in order to move around the mono eye on there. So that's really neat, not having to open anything up or remove anything. You can take out this whole head unit to put the batteries in for it, because the mono eye does light up. As far as the shoulders go, it does feel a couple decades old with the with how simple they are, with the shoulder armor and the shoulder shield. It feels very simple, very basic. And I've seen high grades nowadays that have better articulation and able to get them out of the way if you need to, and all kinds of things. So that was kind of a letdown. Not to mention the shoulders straight up coming out. If you lift them up the wrong way, you have to pretty much just be very gentle with it in order for that not to happen. No, you don't. There we go. Let's see, in the elbows, get a nice bend, almost 180, and it has some really nice pistons in both. There we go. Arms. As far as the waist goes, it is attached right there. It will not go all the way around because of the skirting armor. Not the best, but it just, with how everything fits together so perfectly and how good it looks, it's going to stay pretty much like this. It does have a little bit of a shoulder or of a ab crunch in the middle of it. The side skirting armor, the front of it is on a spring, like I said, so they go up and down. They move completely out of the way very easily. They go all the way up. I wish more kits would do that nowadays. Side skirts go all the way up on the side, and on the back you got a little bit of butt flap motion there. Oh yeah, with the backpack as well. After you flip that or take it off, these little thrusters move up and down. The bell thrusters aren't on ball joints or anything, so there's no independent type movement right there, like you would typically see, but it still serves its purpose. As far as the legs go themselves, you'll get a really high kick up for a kit this big, and it goes back, you know, just as far. You can, yeah, you can get the splits out of this. Do I recommend it? Probably not. But you can get those legs pretty wide. He can bust it open, as you say. There we go. So the knees. They go really far back as well. You know, limited by these huge bell-bottom calf muscles of his. Pull out the back, and you got the opening hatch gimmick I mentioned earlier, as well as the knees. They straight up, they fold really far down as well. The feet disappoint me. They just don't move that much. They've got the flip-flop joint right here that feels kind of like I might have issues with it. These beads have a spring inside of them that move very well with it, and they do tend to pop out. I'm not gonna lie, at either end of it, but it's really easy fix and easy to take care of anyway. There we go. Well, that's it for how it moves. Let's do a couple size comparisons to see what it looks good next to. I'm gonna throw up a few pictures of what that's gonna look like. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the Penelope, put that up against it, and the high grade Revive Zaku 2, just so you can see just how much bigger this is than, you know, its high grade counterpart is, you know, in scale. And so as you see with it next to the Penelope, if the Penelope was a perfect grade, it would be almost unacceptably huge, because it's about, I want to say, a good 2/3 the size of this this perfect grade Zaku, if you don't count the stand. But on the other hand, right next to the 1/144th scale Zaku, we see just how blown up this is, and if proportionally, if they did make a perfect grade Penelope, it would, yeah, that'd be the size of a closet. It'd be crazy. But yeah, that's it for about the size of this. Let's get into my final thoughts about this kit and see where I rank the perfect grade Red Comet. So going into my final thoughts for the perfect grade Red Comet Char Zaku 2. As far as recommending this kit, I do recommend it. I recommend it if you're someone that is experienced building and wants to take the next step if you've never built a perfect grade before. And you know, if you can find this at a decent price, I highly recommend it. I got mine for about 150 US dollars, and that's not too bad. I have seen it a little bit lower in some places, but it was one of those situations where I came upon it in a store actually and thought to myself, well, if I don't get it now, then, you know, the chances of me just picking it up online are very slim, so I did go ahead and get it. As far as rating this thing, I would honestly straight out give it 3 C's all day, just because it needs a little bit of love and work, but if you know, if you put it in there, it'll be 5 C's. But right out of the box, you can definitely take it out of the box, build it, put it on a shelf, leave it alone, and it'll look great no matter really what you do, because it's the perfect grade, and that's, you know, that's exactly what it's intended to do. I will put up probably a little building montage in here. Other than that, I really appreciate you sticking around and watching me review this kit. I appreciate the fact that I have 100 followers on Twitch now, and it gave me the confidence to go ahead and crack open this bad boy and get the Red Comet built. All I gotta say is thank you so much, and if you haven't already, follow me on Twitch at ThickGumpla, on Twitter, and also on my Facebook page too. I have a Facebook as well. Other than that, it's just ThickGumpla. I'm signing out. Y'all have a great day.